Hello once again, my name is Negative Legend, and I'm here to answer the question, what happened to Kingdom Hearts? If you follow this channel for a while, you'd know that I absolutely adore Kingdom Hearts. It became a very unhealthy obsession with me during my angsty middle school years as I watched cinematics of Kingdom Hearts set to music by Evanescence. And it's clear I'm not the only one who's been influenced by the unique style of this game. But how did it all begin? You've probably heard this before, but during a brief time, Disney and Square Enix worked in the same building in Japan, and Square Enix wanted to make a game that could rival the popularity of Super Mario 64. But they jokingly said that the only characters popular enough to rival Mario is a Disney character. And our good man, Tetsuya Nomura, overheard them and said that he'd be willing to lead a project to rival the game. Then, as luck would have it, Tetsuya Nomura ran into a Disney executive on the elevator and pitched the idea. Lo and behold, Kingdom Hearts was born. All of you business majors out there groaning at the idea of practicing an elevator pitch, I think this is enough to convince you it's definitely worth it to practice. The first game, simply known as Kingdom Hearts, was released in 2002 for PlayStation 2, and the magic was put in place. Though the game didn't age well and is argued to currently be the worst game in the franchise, it captured the hearts of everyone who isn't one of those jerkwads who think they're too cool for Disney movies. It received great reviews, but Tetsuya Nomura wasn't sure if his bosses would greenlight a sequel, so he dropped this super cool cinematic at the end of the game in hopes that it would lead the players to want more. And guess what? It worked. Next, Kingdom Hearts Final Mix was released exclusively for Japan for a very long while. It tweaked some of the mechanics, added new plot points, and was basically a better version of the game. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories released in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance. It was a direct sequel to the first game, which is a trend that would make fans kind of upset later down the line. This was made after Tetsuya Nomura had already developed a lot of ideas about Kingdom Hearts 2 and wanted to bridge the story between the games. Kingdom Hearts 2 released in 2005 in Japan and 2006 everywhere else for the PlayStation 2. This is possibly the most universally loved Kingdom Hearts game in the entire franchise because they literally improved everything. I still remember walking into Game Crazy after selling so many of my other games and saving my money after so long. And seeing it in my hands, it almost made me cry. I was in such a state of euphoria, I didn't know what to do with myself.
I guess here I'm supposed to sing, so okay.
In 2007, they released Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix that included more cutscenes and voice acting, and it also included Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which is the Game Boy game, except made to look 1,000,000 times better. And it was only released in Japan because, well, Japan likes to do that with all their cool stuff. 2009 rolled around, and the game with the most confusing title released for Nintendo DS, Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. I know it doesn't look like that's how you pronounce it, but trust me, that's how you pronounce it. The story centers around Roxas and takes place during the events of Chain of Memories. In the game, it lasts 358 days, and you take the perspective of two people, Roxas and Xion. Now do you guys get the title? This is actually my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, simply because, well, there's very few games that literally made me cry at the end. The other one was Final Fantasy XV. not a lot of games can do that. In 2008, Kingdom Hearts Coded was released for mobile phones, released only in Japan. It centered mostly around solving puzzles, platforming, and mini-games with some action thrown in so it didn't stray too far away from the main games. Nobody really cared about this game because, well, it was for freaking mobile phones. In 2010, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep released for the PSP. This is possibly the most well-liked game because every time I ask people what their favorite Kingdom Hearts game is, they say it's this one. But I personally really didn't like the gameplay in this game. This is a prequel to the entire series where it explains how Sora became a Keyblade wielder and introduces Xehanort, the overall big bad guy of the entire series. This game took 5 years to develop, meaning it started development all the way back in 2005, but they had to stop development for like 6 months to focus on Rechain of Memories. In 2011, Kingdom Hearts Recoded released for the Nintendo DS. The director, Tetsuya Nomura, was originally thinking of releasing the game on Wii for digital download, but that was later changed. This is considered the most boring and uninteresting game because it has so little to do with the plot that people really just don't care. Plus, it's literally a re-release of a mobile game. It takes place after Kingdom Hearts 2, and it's set in the Disney castle and blah 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 blah. In 2012, Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance released for the Nintendo 3DS. The title is, well, pretty on the nose, but whatever. This takes place after the events in Recoded and focuses on Sora and Riku needing to become Keyblade Masters so they can prepare to fight Xehanort. So they can prepare to fight Xehanort. This introduced possibly the most fun gameplay mechanic, flow motion, where you swing around free across the world and movement becomes a lot more fun. This also had a cameo of The World Ends With You, another Square Enix title that you should totally play and that I also did a video of if you want to watch it, just saying, link in the description. Kingdom Hearts Key released in Japan in 2013, but released everywhere else in 2016. It was originally a browser-based RPG, but was ported to Android and iOS. This is a super prequel that takes place before the Keyblade War and explains super big plot elements while also leaving certain elements vague that we hope is going to be explained in Kingdom Hearts 3. Eventually, fans were getting really ticked off that they couldn't follow the story because all the games were releasing on different consoles, and expecting the fans to purchase all these consoles and play the games was a bit too much. So, they gracefully released Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix in 2013 for the PS3 and 2017 for the PS4. This was the first release of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix outside of Japan. It also included Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, and it included HD remade cinematic cutscenes of Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, and I got to cry all over again. Here's one of the collector's editions I managed to get. I think it's pretty nifty. It includes the original concept art for Sora. Wow, super weird. Literally the next year, they released Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix on PS3 in 2014, and PS4 in 2017. This included Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix for the first time outside of Japan, Birth by Sleep in a new remastered version, and HD remade cinematics of Recoded, that game nobody cared about. Then, in a weird turn of events, Tetsuya Nomura decided he needed to expand on Aqua's story and bridge the gap between Kingdom Hearts 3D and Kingdom Hearts 3. So, they released Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, and out of all the really weird names in the series, I kinda think this one takes the cake. Also released in 2017, this includes a small playable section called Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a Fragmentary Passage. It was largely considered a pseudo-game demo because it showed how Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to look while also explaining Aqua's story in the Realm of Darkness. The disc also included Kingdom Hearts 3D HD Remastered and a surprisingly long movie called Kingdom Hearts Key Back Cover that was made to fill in the players about the events in Kingdom Hearts Key without forcing them to play the entire game because that is totally unreasonable and stupid. I will warn you now, unless you know just about every other thing that's going on in the Kingdom Hearts timeline, you will not understand what's going on in this movie. They drop a lot of small things that you only pick up if you've followed the whole series. But for anyone who has followed the series, and hasn't watched this movie, you should really watch this movie. It's a little rough sometimes with the acting and how they compiled it all, but it's really nice to watch if you've been yearning for more Kingdom Hearts lore.
Well, things are gonna get pretty hectic around here soon, but this spirit Chirithy is gonna make your lives much easier. Hopefully.
Spirit?
You could say they're like cats or dogs. And they'll be your loyal pets. Every wielder will have one of these adorable little guys at their side. They're here to help, so play nice.
Okay.
Oh, right. Before I forget. If a wielder is overcome by malice, or rather if their heart is tainted by darkness, their adorable little spirit will turn dark and become a nightmare.
So you're telling us that if we see a nightmare...
Someone has fallen into darkness.
Exactly. And if you don't stop this renegade spirit...
Kingdom Hearts 3, the game we've been waiting for over a decade, was announced at E3 2013 and is set to release January 29th, 2019 for PS4 and Xbox One. Assuming they don't delay it again, because they tend to do that and it's embarrassing because I prep these videos several months in advance. Now we get onto the things you most likely didn't know about. A manga series was written by Shiro Amano and published by Tokyopop before they fell into financial issues, and the rights to publish it was given to Yen Press. They've covered every game in the series up until 358 Days Over 2, and though they're fun, they don't hold a candle to the game, and some elements in the story are slightly skewed, but nothing too radical. If you really don't want to play the games up until now, then reading this is a good alternative. A series of light novels written by Tomoko Kanamaki were released recounting the events of the games up until recoded. Chances are that most of them haven't been translated into English yet, so your best bet is to still read the manga for your alternative. Roxas Somewhere in Time was released along with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix as a bonus to those who pre-ordered the game. Short stories that were included from the main novels were Other Diamonds and Axel 7 Days. Various art books were released for more than one of the games. Several figures were created of basically all the main characters, from formation art figures, static arts figures, play arts, Kai, and on and on. Hot Topic jumped at the opportunity to sell Kingdom Hearts merchandise because it appealed to their edgy kid demographic very well, and a Kingdom Hearts card game was released in 2007 by Tomy and Fantasy Flight Games, but eventually failed. However, a lot of the cards are collectible, and here are some now because, well, of course I would have several of these, you know me. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that's been made for Kingdom Hearts, but I thought these were the most interesting. Oh, and I pre-ordered the collector's edition of Kingdom Hearts 3 the moment it was announced, where you get figures of Sora, Donald, and Goofy in their Toy Story forms. That's everything I have for this video. If you want to support the channel, then there's a link to my Patreon in the description below. If I missed any super cool factoids in this video, then please tell me in the comments below. Chances are I might just heart it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful and keep playing.